get some lights sorted. That's better. That's better. How's that? How you doing, everybody? Nick here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. I shall move over into my usual position. I hope you're all good. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a gorgeous life, whatever you are in this stunning world of ours. So, what you all been up to? Have you had a great week? Have you not had a good week? I hope you've had a good week. Hi, angels. Hi, John. How you doing? Jason, how you doing, brother? Ground Fog, how you doing? So it's just me tonight, I'm afraid, guys. Poor old Kaz. There's been a bit of a cock up with her meds, and the morphine that she takes to ease the pain in her legs, excuse me, didn't arrive till late. She is in absolute agony at the moment. Her knees, her hips, her ankles and that are really giving her hell. So she's got it now, taken it, but as a lot of you probably be aware with these sort of strong medications, if you've not taken them for a few days and then you start taking them again, it tends to knock you out. So she's downstairs on the sofa, feet up, legs up, basically in agony and feeling very, very drowsy. She might join us later on. She might not. If she feels up to it, I've said do so. But if she doesn't feel up to it, you know, I said just rest and recoup. That's all she can do. And again, part of the survival world, isn't it, is understanding these things, knowing how to deal with them, knowing what to expect. Many of us carry pains, injuries, illnesses and that on a daily and weekly basis, and so we have to adapt to that. But I'm going to try and stay as upbeat tonight as I can. I'm going to try and keep up to speed for you. I'm going to try and read the comments and do my usual waffling. So please bear with me. And if Kaz does need me, I've said to her, just call. If I have to dive off for a second or two, I'm sure you guys will understand. But there we go. That's it. So this week's been an interesting week, both work-wise and social-wise. No, Kaz, right, let me tell you a bit about my lovely wife. My lovely wife of many, many years, 40-odd years, the love of my life. She is one of the strongest, hardest working, most capable people I've ever met. She's always the last one to whinge and moan. She's always the first one to put me on the straight and narrow when it's needed. She's never been frightened to say, you know, or pick me up when I'm needed picking up. But unfortunately for Kaz, we used to do a lot together. We used to do climbing, hiking, walking, our adventures and that. We used to go all over the place together. Kaz used to be out. We used to go camping together, the whole rigmarole. Everything you see me do now, Kaz has been involved in some way or other. She, capability-wise, firelighting skills and all the rest of it, they're all there because we've spent most of our lives sharing these things together. About 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, but about 10 years ago, she walked out through the back door one day and tripped. And we had a metal grate, sort of boat cleaning grate there. And she tripped and she landed on it with her knees. And it did a lot of damage to her knees. Unfortunately, one of the side effects of that injury, because she's got, we weren't aware at the time, she's got Hashimoto's disease, which is an autoimmune disease. It attacks the body, turns your basically immune system against you. So if you catch a cold, rather than attack the cold, it attacks you. So one of the things this did was it triggered arthritis in her body, arthritis in her knees. But because of her Hashimoto's, it literally went potty. It's gone mad. She's got arthritis in all the joints in her body. So from her ankles to her knees, to her hips, to her hands, fingers, toes. And in the space of about a year and a half, she went from being somebody that was capable and could match me on a 10-miler to just being in agony all the time. And at first we didn't know what it was, and we had all the usual tests and that. And that's how they found out about the Hashimoto's, because they were sitting there saying, you've got arthritis, but you've got it literally everywhere, and it's going mad. Arthritis doesn't normally work the way it's working on you. And what it is, it's because of a Hashimoto's, a body is basically attacking itself, creating more arthritis everywhere. So that's what she puts up with, but she doesn't moan about it. She is the sort of person that you can see she's in absolute agony, and she will still get on and do it. She will still get up and do what she needs to do or what she can do. She fights these things. She never whinges. She never moans. And sometimes I have to look twice to see the pain she's in on a particular day because she tries to protect me from it. And again, it's one of the reasons I love her. And yeah, on to comments, Mickey. You said to yourself you'd read comments regularly. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, John, cheers, mate. Walk, evening, mate. How you doing, Harry? Yep. Janet, oh yeah, Janet. Hope you're good. Yeah, hopefully once the morphine kicks in properly, it'll ease it a lot for her. But it's one unusual cock ups where the doctor doesn't speak to the chemist, doesn't speak to so and so, and we're the ones caught in the middle shouting and screaming. She needs this bloody medication. But they did get it sorted for her in the end. So yeah. Morphine, no, it's not a good one. It's an opiate. She's going to be on it for life. But there we go. Yeah, exactly that. That's one of the great things about this pub, isn't it? If the landlord needs to dive out to walk the dog for a minute, you know that the regulars are going to, make sure the till's okay and also keep going. So, yeah, everybody else, welcome. Ian Gore, hello, mate. It has been a short while. Hope you're all good. So anybody I've missed, is there anybody I've missed? Hopefully not. If I do miss you in the comments, I apologise. Kiwi, hello, mate. How you doing? Jason will watch your beer tap. Jason, jump behind the bar. You're in charge of the bar. John, could you take over the door for half an hour? Yeah, simple as that. I know your bike club history, so if I put you on the door, I know you've got it sorted. Simon, hello, mate. Max, hello, brother. Kitten, how you doing, mate? So, right, what am I on tonight? I am on the Koppenberg Cherry, again, because it's still reduced in price at Morrison's, and I'm a tight-fisted old git, so I'll have that. Oh, so what have I been doing today? Well, been up the woods today, as you saw. Kaz's trailer that we're building for next year needed to be winterized and basically just protect it from the weather, stop it getting in there. I didn't want it to get wet or anything, so we got a big tarp. In actual fact, there's a couple of tarps under there, so just cleaned everything out, aired everything out, gave that a good wrap. Met some lovely people that were up there on a driving course. Absolutely fantastic guys. And as always happens, as soon as I start doing something video-wise to one side and get a fire going, people migrate. It's quite funny. They've got a building there with a heater in it where they could all go sit very comfortably. There's tea, coffee, Burko. They could have all that. No, you light a fire. People migrate. People come out and stand in the cold. They might bring a coffee with them, but they stand around the fire. Interesting thing with that fire, isn't it? It's a very social thing. It draws people. Hi, survivalist. Hope you're good, mate. JD Honey. Or Jameson's. Yeah, I do like a Jameson's. JD Honey and lemonade. Don't know about the lemonade, but the JD Honey on its own, I'll go for that. In actual fact, I got given a real treat this week. A real treat. I've had a little snifter, but I'm saving it for Christmas. So I'm over with my mum on the Isle of Wight. So whilst I was in Wales, I visited a very good friend of mine, and he gave me a bottle of this Penderyn single malt whiskey. Okay, never come across it before. I was a bit dubious as well. Welsh whiskey, absolutely delicious. Absolutely, it's quite a. I would say it's a sipper. It's an enjoyable. It's a long night whiskey, but absolutely gorgeous. Quite mellow, gentle. Got a sweetness to it. It's a real pleasurable sipper. So I will probably be enjoying that on the Isle of Wight with my mum over Christmas and getting that down. Right, so where else are we? There we go. Yeah. Oh, John, cold there, -14. Not even winter yet, God. Yeah, so yeah, John's one of our American friends. He's out there in St. Louis. So yeah, you see how the weather's affected them. And this is the thing with the channel, isn't it? It's something I learned quite early on. You guys are all over the world. Okay. So when I make my videos and that, please bear in mind that quite often my videos can only be UK based. Okay, this is where I am. So I tend to aim at the UK rules, but I'm always aware that we've got other viewers around the world. And sometimes I have to do videos where the rules and regulations might be a bit different. Okay. Now I could go into the whole, let's make myself popular and go into the shooting world. I've spent most of my life shooting, whether military and civilian, and I'm pretty much au fait with a lot of systems, shall we say, but I don't. Why? Because it's not really practical. It's no good me turning around to people in the UK talking about AR-15s, M4s, DeMarcos, HK-53s, things like that, because they're just going to go, what? But likewise, I have that love and passion and knowledge of these pieces of equipment. So next year, when I get out to the States for my visit, I'm hopefully might do a couple of videos there, which will be a chance to show people here some of the kit and gear, not just from a tactical point of view, but from a prepper survival point of view. So what is available to other people? What can other people have? What methods do other people use? And the UK's rules aren't as draconian as a lot of people think, but they're also not as draconian as some other countries. There are countries in the world which the regulations are tighter than here. But again, it's always down to practicality. Now, not that I'm saying everybody should be allowed a firearm in Britain. I've lived here long enough to know not everybody. You know, I mean, seriously, think about it yourself. Think about your street and think about everybody in your street having a firearm. Yeah, we have a different society here, and some members of our society I wouldn't let near a stick, let alone a firearm. But there we go. Yeah, I'd love to do some range days. That would be absolutely fantastic. -34, Jason. Oh, blimey. Yeah. Yeah, they would only have a firearm till they didn't. Exactly that. So again, I try not to aim just at firearms purely and simply because for a lot of my viewers here it will make sense. And the other thing is we've got the whole political anti-police situation here in the UK, where if I start talking firearms, I'll probably get myself into trouble. So I tend to rein that in a little bit. But on the other side of things, yeah, survival knowledge. As you see on the triangle up there, how does it all work for me? Well, I work on the survival pyramid system. A lot of the military guys and a lot of the experts I've met over the years exactly work on the military or on the pyramid system. It's the same as the fire pyramid. You have a foundation. That foundation is knowledge. That's the strength. That's the solid base. That's what holds things together. That's the bit that's important. As much knowledge as possible. You have the walls. The walls are supported. Okay. Now they're strong. They're strength. Okay. They support things, and that's mindset and skills. So that's mindset. That is having that strength of mind to get through a situation. Skill set that balances out mindset. What can you do? And it's not just knowing what you are capable of and having skills, but it's also knowing where your weaknesses are. Okay. If you know that you're not particularly good at something, if you're somebody that faints at the sight of blood, and people do, it's not their fault. But if you're somebody that faints at the sight of blood, you're not going to be any good as a first aider. So you see a casualty, you call for a first aider. You don't run in because otherwise you're another casualty. So it's as important to know where your weaknesses are. And in a survival situation, if, like I've said in the past, if you've got builders there, if you've got medics there, if you've got people with the right skills, it's knowing how to allocate those skills. And right at the top, at the pinnacle there, just a very little tiny point, is kit. Now, it doesn't mean kit's not important. Kit is always important because kit makes life easier. Okay. But it's not essential. Okay. If you've got a good foundation of knowledge, mindset, and skills, the kit actually can be shrunk down quite a bit, he says, looking at the man cave. Well, that's probably because I've just got a bit of a fanaticism for trying kit and building it. Yeah, so I'm going to come back and quick whiz through the comments. Range days, please. I'd love to. World Survivors, it'd be great to see your thinking from a US point of view. It would. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting over there. I have spent a bit of time in the US before, and I've worked with a lot of American chaps. So yeah, I've got quite a good foundation of where they're coming from and where they're going. And again, this is one of the things we have to think. We all live in very different countries, very different societies, very different rules, regulations, and conditions. Our environments are different. So that's why many things are different in these countries. Okay. Cold wind from the Dakotas and 17 degrees here. Prayers for the Bondi victims. Oh, I've not caught up on the news yet. So, yeah, whatever's happened there. Yeah, they could hurt themselves in a soft play area, possibly. Kitten killers in Ayrshire. Yeah, Scotland. Roger, quick question, Mick. Please do not answer if appropriate, but might a .22 air rifle be a deterrent? Yes, would be a deterrent. Of course it would. Okay. It's a .22 air rifle. It is not a killing tool. Okay, so you wouldn't, if you, right, let's get this out of the way first of all. If you were buying an air rifle as a defence tool, it would be illegal under UK law because you are buying it to be a weapon. However, from a practical point of view, if you were to be hit by a .22 pellet, it hurts. Okay, anything that causes pain changes people's minds. It's simple as that. Okay, I've often been asked, what would I take as a survival tool? If I took a firearm, what firearms would I take with me? Well, again, that depends on the survival situation, where I am in the world, what I've got to face. If I'm in North America and I've got mountain lions, I've got bears of various types, I've got all sorts of predatory animals, then I'm going to want something with a bit of stopping power. However, here in the UK, where the angriest thing you're going to come across is probably going to be an angry squirrel, a .22 air rifle is probably the best survival tool you could have. Okay, it's quiet, it's efficient, its ammunition's easy to get and make if you had to. And let's face it, I often get asked pre-charged spring or what would you go with? Well, I choose a gas ram because a gas ram is reliable as a spring, but a bit quieter. The other bonus with these things, with an air rifle, it doesn't take anything other than the pellet and the cocking of the weapon. It will last donkey's years. Even when it comes down to seals in them, you can replace the seals, you can fix seals, you can even make seals from leather belts, as I used to do as a boy. So again, it is something that would last the test of time. Ammunition for a firearm can degrade with time. You've got to find it and get it. Now, if you live in an environment or a country where there's plenty of ammunition and there's not too much in the way of big predators, .22 rimfire with a moderator, great for taking game, absolutely silent, absolutely brilliant, quite discreet, will knock over most things at fairly close range, and the art in hunting is always in the stalk. So again, that's the way to look at it there. Catapult, yeah, a catapult's effective. It can be a good hunting weapon, and it can be a good deterrent weapon. Well, that's what we're calling from now on, a deterrent weapon for pushing away large predatory animals. Okay, we'll keep that. I think that keeps it politically correct. A catapult. You can go crossbows. You can go with archery. You can go with a big stick. You know, it's you've got to find what works for you. But again, you want something where the ammunition and the system for using it is going to be something long lasting, simple, cheap, quiet, easy to carry, easy to maintain, easy to get hold of. Downside of firearms, a lot of firearms make big bangs. Everybody knows where you are. It can be a downside. But again, it depends on the threat you're facing. If I'm being charged by a black bear, I want something that's going to put the black bear down to protect me and my family. The other bonus of that is you can signal with it. Those of you that might not be aware, but firearms is signalling, it's 3 rounds. Wait, 3 rounds. Wait, 3 rounds. 3 is the international signal of distress. So even if you don't know Morse code, if you flash a light 3 consecutive times, long stroke, long stroke, long stroke, stop, long stroke, long stroke, long stroke, stop, all right, it is still an international sign of distress. So repeated 3 is I need help. Okay, so it's always worth knowing. Yeah, simple slingshot. Again, go back to the Thracian sling, yeah, or what they call the shepherd's sling. Great tool. Yeah. Yeah. No, no, and again, I wouldn't condone any illegal activities whatsoever. Not we have to be careful in this world of ours. Again, I don't condone anybody breaking the law. Keep yourself safe, keep yourself protected, and importantly, know the law. There's a lot I have to bite my tongue regularly because I regularly see things on YouTube and I think to myself, can't do that. If you get caught doing that, you're going to get hammered, or that's not good advice for here or there. So again, you have to crossbows. Okay, so this is coming up quite a bit lately. Crossbows. So think of why the crossbow with less range and less hitting power than a longbow superseded the longbow. Well, it's quite simple. A longbow took years of training. You literally trained with a longbow as a small boy upwards. And the archers of Britain, the famous longbowmen of Britain, when you look at their skeletons, they're all deformed. They're all got a massive deformation of the shoulder, the muscle structure, and the bone structure on one side of their body because from small boyhood they practiced heaving these powerful bows. Now, they were fast. That was one of their bonuses. A guy well practiced could launch arrow after arrow after arrow over immense distances very accurately with massive hitting power. The crossbow came along, and the crossbow in its early days wasn't as powerful, didn't have as big a bolt, and definitely didn't have the range. But you could teach anybody to use it quickly and easily, make them accurate and efficient. And that's why the crossbow evolved up. It was an easier tool for the average man. You didn't have to suddenly have people that had trained for generations to use something. You had something that somebody could be given, put on a range, a bit of basic training, and they could be launching that bolt in the right direction quite safely, quite efficiently, very quickly. So again, it's thinking about your tools. You can have complicated tools. There's a lot of gear out there that is super complicated. But I always work on the principle of simplicity. Why? Because it might not be me operating it. It might be me having been hurt or injured, throwing it to somebody else, going, "You got to take over," right? And then I might have to say to them, "Look, just do this, do this, do this, and done." And I want it to work. Um, Anyhow, so let's just have a quick look back through the comments. Catapults effectively know what you're doing. Yeah, Mick, please realise, appreciate your answer, which was, of course, not doing anything illegally. Yeah, no worries, Gary. But yeah, 2 air rifle, break barrel, gas ram if you can, spring if you can't. Yeah, it's the way to go. PCPs, don't get me wrong, fantastic guns till something goes wrong, and you've got to pre-charge it. You've got to be able to get that air supply from somewhere to pre-charge it. Yeah, walking stick tells somebody to clear off. It does, definitely. Once bought a catapult from a place called Razors in North Camp. Yeah, still there. Yeah. 18th birthday in America. Oh, lucky me. Very soberating. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's not the place. 21, I believe, in most states in America. 18 here. Yeah. The best deterrent is your mouth. Yes. Use your eyes, your brain, your ears. Find out what's going on. Sense a situation, remove yourself from the situation. Sense a threat, remove yourself from the threat. Okay, avoid confrontation with animals or people as much as possible. Simple, isn't it? Some people would say, "Oh yeah, but it's cowardice." No, it's not. It's self-preservation. It's recognizing the threat and moving around it. Grey man. Don't get involved if you don't need to get involved, or if you do need to get involved, make sure what you do is so fast, efficient, and furious. it works. Okay. Up spirits, I have bows and arrows, but only shoot rangers. Yep, exactly that. But again, practicing that skill. If you suddenly found yourself in a situation getting where you needed to, you could. Hit first, speak later. Yeah. No, no. Gift of the gab. Gift of the gab will often do you a lot of good. Yeah, talk first. Yeah. Yeah, Max. Yeah, I've come across that one myself. Hit first, say sorry later. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, training does give muscle memory, and that again is prevalent in all your skills and abilities. Whether you be doing knife work, whether you be doing axe work, I get people to start with a knife, and they sit there and they go, I can't practice. Dart thrower can't hit the centre ball first time every time when he first starts throwing darts. But give him 6 months of practice and training, and eventually he finds he can do it. And it's exactly the same thing with everything else. It's all muscle memory. When I talk about firearms, people often say to me, when I talk about firearms, I go to a firearms position. I instinctively lift my hands. My trigger finger is in position. My pistol grip finger is in position. My bracing hand's in position. It comes up quite naturally. Why? Years and years and years of using firearms. And when I think of firearms, I automatically come up into that position. And where's the trigger finger? It's off the trigger. Okay. But it's an instinctive muscle memory thing. And that's the same thing. Like today, I was chopping wood with an axe. And one of the guys was like that. Why are you holding the bits of wood with a stick? And I said, because it gets my fingers out the bloody way. You know, it makes it more efficient. I'm hitting where I want to hit, but I'm not going to chop a finger off if I make a mistake. Oh, I wouldn't make a mistake. And I thought, yeah, you're the one that's going to fail. Kaz's vids. Right, Kaz is over the moon with her vids. All right. She was hoping to get a few more views than she did. So if anybody out there can share her video for me, I would appreciate it. But yeah, she is given her confidence to do a few more. She wants to do a few more. She did thoroughly enjoy it. Sticks, how you doing, brother? Hope you're good. So yeah, there's a video up. The members can see it at the moment. There's a video up on some kit that I picked up from the bug out. The bug out. So wearing a t-shirt, Lee. I picked up some kit from the bug out and I've made a video today and it's entitled 3 items that could save your life. Okay, they're 3 very, very efficient items. Now, I wouldn't call them bushcrafty or anything like that. These are purely 3 items. I think if you're, especially if you're going out in the hills, you're going out into remote areas, these are 3 items you should make sure that are in your bag. They're there for emergencies and they'll fit in a box that big. Okay. It's simple as that. And those 3 items, I'll do them here for you. Quite simple. A signal smoke. Okay. The ultimate match. And these are absolutely brilliant. You'll see on the video yourself. These are stunning. I really like these. Ultimate match. And a double bivvy bag. But I cover all the reasons why on the video. Now, you can obviously adapt your kit as you need to. So I throw in there as well that, thank you very much, Lee, again, because that is my, oh dear, I need something sharp. And that all goes in that and lives at the bottom of my kit. Bright orange for a reason. It is an OS kit, an O shit kit. It is, now I need some specialist gear out to signal, to create fire, to do whatever I need to do. But listen, the bottom of the kit, you can go out, you can through the airsoft shops and things like that. You can buy screening smoke. Okay, that's a green one. Not necessarily the best for signaling an emergency, tends to blend into the environment. They also do a company called Dynasty. That's a blue smoke. Okay. Yeah, they're okay, but they're screening smoke. They are designed to make a large cloud over an area and make visibility difficult. Signal smoke's a bit different. It's a heavier smoke. What it tends to do is put out a dense line of smoke that stays confined to a smaller area for a longer period, giving a signal. On top of that, you can obviously have your whistle. You can, for those of you that are ex-military, Thunder Flash Mark 5. Okay, hell of a bang. That lets people know where you are if you had to. Or good old voice. Okay, so hi Sam, how you doing, mate? Hope you're good. Yeah, we're doing good, brother. I hope you're doing all right. Much love to you. Mountain Survival. How you doing, mate? Welcome. So yeah, so this is what we got to do, isn't it? We've got to adapt. We have to think about our environments now. We're going to get on now. You guys, by all means, chat in the chat. I'm here tonight on my own. Poor old Kaz, morphine was late coming in. She's crashed out on the sofa downstairs. She's managed to get it now. It's just starting to kick in, so it's made her very drowsy, and she's in a lot of pain. So I'm just sort of on my own tonight. Other things that I managed to acquire this week, not from the bug out. Somebody gave me an absolutely stunning bag. Now I was a bit gobsmacked, and I feel a bit guilty. But look at that! No. Polish respirator bag from 1988. Let me check. Yeah. Polish respirator bag from 1988. Canvas. Absolutely gorgeous. That is going to become my new man bag. Okay. I'm going to put a strap on that because I'm forever at work carrying 2 pairs of glasses, 2 mobile phones, my first day or my meds and bits and pieces like that around with me. And I know it sounds, a lot of people go, laugh. Yeah, Mickey's got a handbag. But yeah, it's just going to make life so much easier carrying my kit around with me on a day-to-day basis. Those things that I need. And again, as we all get a bit older, we tend to find we need a pair of reading glasses and a pair of driving glasses. And you want your notepad and pen. And yeah, you all know what it's like. You've all been there. You've all got that T-shirt. Another item that came in, and this was something going back to the stoves. So you see one of my stoves up there, okay? And we did a test about 4 or 5 months ago on the stoves on what we thought, of various heat systems, various fuel sources, and we tried compressed wood, we tried fat wood, we tried hardwood, softwood, we tried all sorts of things. Things we didn't try were things like charcoal briquettes, possibly coal because it would burn too hot. However, whilst I was down in Wales, Mr. Laveau very kindly had managed to acquire for me some peat blocks. Okay, so I am really excited about trying out these peat blocks and giving them a go. Although I just feel a bit guilty because I've just noticed squashed into the side of that peat block is a beetle. Sorry, Mr. Beetle. I think he's long gone. So I've got some peat blocks there to try out on the stove, which is going to give us an interesting test to see how efficient it is. What I'm looking for is not something that's going to burn fast or hot. What I'm looking for is something that you could carry, and then at the end of the day, once you're settling down for the night, you can load your fire up with something that's going to burn slower. Ideally, something that's going to smoulder. It does look a bit like a cowpat. It's something that's going to smoulder. It's going to contain heat. It's going to constantly give off a reasonable heat. It doesn't have to be a roaring heat, a gentle heat, but then you can reignite it in the morning. The idea is being able to keep the inside of that hot tent just those few degrees warmer than the outside. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a go. Lavu's done a video on making them, so Lavu's made them himself. So that's even more interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. That should be really, really interesting. Other bits of kit that I've acquired this week. Wow, I went to the bug out, didn't I? Those of you that remember, those of you that know. Yeah, I picked myself up an old green fleece. Absolutely stunning. Picked that up for the winter because I love them. And because he had a big box and they were quite affordable, I will say to you. A couple of Norwegian tops. So that's Mickey sorted for the winter. Mickey's happy with that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, his peat burning was a reliant fuel source in the West Country where I spent so much of my time, because you had the moors in Ireland, in a lot of places where you didn't have a lot of trees, but you had peat. So again, peat would be dug, dried, compressed, and used as fuel source. So yeah, love a Norgie, yeah. So again, it's a great system. It's a system that's just been. This is one of the things we're always saying about survival, prepping, and that. A lot of the answers to our modern problems are actually there in history already. They're in the past. How did our ancestors, how did our relatives, how did your great grandfather get on? I was chatting to a lovely lady today, absolutely wonderful woman, and we were chatting away, and she was telling her daughter about trimming wicks on oil lamps and what it was like when her mum and dad first got a gas mantle fitted. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything about age or be ageist than that, but again, it was fascinating to listen to this lady saying about it. And I said, yeah, I remember the smell of the paraffin heater on the landing and paraffin lamps for being outside, and how that smell of paraffin takes me back now. It makes me feel warm and comfortable because it's a smell from my youth. It's something that I smelt then. But there is generations of people that have never known a paraffin heater or a paraffin lamp or a gas mantle, or even using a range to cook with, other than having it as a nice arty thing that's run on gas inside the house. You know, they don't know what it's like to get up in the morning, go down, be the first one, open the range door, stoke that fire, load it up, shut the door, put the kettle on, and feel the heat start to radiate from that throughout the house. So everything we need to know for the future is there in our past, and yeah, it's all about sharing it and picking up as much of it as you can. On the other side of the coin, picked up a couple of things for the vehicle, sensible little things. Puncture repair kit, another power pack. So I've got one in the Range Rover, one in my pickup. Tire inflator, okay? Because obviously, if you've got a puncture repair kit, you want a tire inflator. For those of you that may be doing a bit of driving off road and that, there are many puncture repair kits out there, but I tend to go with the mushroom type. So basically, it's a tool that inserts that mushroom into the tyre, then pulls it back up against the blockage or the hole, sealing the hole, and yeah, completely legal. MOT legal as well. So if you've got one of those in repairing your tyre, you're not going to get somebody saying it's unsafe. Simple kit to use, and again, it's one of those things. Yeah, have it. I mean, so many cars today don't have a spare wheel. Luckily enough, mine do. But if I can repair a puncture rather than have to change a wheel, even better still. Plus, I'm pulling a lot of trailers lately, and yeah, some of the tyres on those might be a bit old. Yeah, the old gas mantles were radioactive. Use the modern ones. Yeah, don't. If you buy a gas mantle that's over 20 years old, throw it away. Or if you find them over 20 years old, throw them away. Dispose of them, please. Use the modern ones, because the old ones were radioactive. They weren't particularly healthy. But again, people weren't aware of those risks and dangers then. Yeah. String or shroom? Yeah, I've got the string. I have used the tyre repair string, or It's like a rope at the end of the day. In the past, and it does work. It can work if you get something damaging the sidewall. Most of the punches I've had in the last 10 years have been pretty much nails, screws, that sort of thing. So I can repair that and I can get myself going. And again, part of the prepping survival thing. It's not just, don't just think about what you've got at home. If you've got a motor vehicle, you use that. How can you prepare yourself and make that bit more efficient? We've got some pretty rough weather coming over the next couple of months because it's winter. Simple preparations. Check your antifreeze, check your oil, check your water. Make sure you've got kit in the vehicle just in case. You get stuck or something. Yeah. CO2. Again, we were often saying about it. Three Dog Night, well pointed out. Yeah. CO2 detector. But there's plenty of people wish they'd had them when they were a kid. Yeah. Yeah. And again, it doesn't take a lot to vent out that CO2 either. No, can't be. Yeah, if it's towards the edge, can't be repaired. But sod's law with me is it's invariably right in the middle of the tie. Yeah, yeah. Handy kit. And again, even if you just use it as a get you home, okay, even if it's just to get you those last few miles, it's a worthwhile thing to have. It's a simple thing to use as well. It's not a hard tool to use. Whether you're male, female, young or old, they are quite an easy bit of kit. In actual fact, I wish I'd had them years and years and years ago, because the amount of times I've had to struggle to get home, change wheels and things like that, when actually the plug repair kit is actually easier to use than changing a wheel. It takes less time as well. Over 40 plugs in his side-by-side tyre. It was more plugs than it was tyre. Yeah, inner tubes. Yeah, inner tubes do the job. Yeah, it's just equipping yourself. It's prepping, isn't it? It's prepping. Often with prepping, people just talk about what they've got at home and for a particular scenario. They get caught up in it's going to be a zombie apocalypse. I've got to be prepared for zombies. In actual fact, you know what? You're better being generalised and prepping for anything that's going to be a problem in your life. You carry a first aid kit. It's prepping. Puncture repair kit. It's prepping. It's simple bits of kit and gear that are going to make it a little bit easier. How did I cope with riding MC's RE punchers? Well, basically, in the club I was in, if somebody broke down or had a puncture, right, my job, I was sergeant at arms, so I rode at the very back of the pack. Literally, I am last man watching the back of the pack. Everybody else in the pack's in front of me. I can watch their discipline, see how they're going. If somebody breaks out of the pack or out of the formation, bike dies, puncture, issue, need a wee, something like that, and they drop out of the formation, I drop off with them, okay? I'll drop off with them. I'll signal to my right-hand man, yeah, keep going, and I drop off. What I'm going to do then is see what the issue is, and then probably try and get hold of the rest of the club or wait for them. They'll pull off at the next safe available point en masse, and they will get hold of me, and they'll be like, Nicky, what's going on? And if it's a puncture repair kit out. Try and fix the puncture. If it's a breakdown, it might be a case of, yeah, his bike's done. If I can't fix it aside the road, I'm going to stay with him till he's recovered. Either some of the club will drop back to me, keep us company, help us out. If there's one of the club members, or very numerous members of the club of mechanics, one of them might pop back, but they'll come back as a small group, help us. The rest of the club will keep going on the way. And we will keep liaising until either the club's all back together or people are home safe. Simple as that. My job was to make sure my members had a great time, got home safe. That was my responsibility. Whether it might be dealing with other clubs, might be dealing with the police, it might be dealing with people that don't like bikers. Simple as that. That was my job, to be that wall between them and the outside world. And did I enjoy it? Of course I did. Of course I did. Did I get much grief? No, not really. I found that most of the time it's how you talk to people. Most people are a bit intimidated by a bike club. They're human beings. It doesn't matter what their patches are. Be respectful, be polite. They're human beings, you know. Um, Other clubs, yeah, don't get me wrong, there can sometimes be issues, but in the majority of the cases, it was no big beef. It could be dealt with. Um, Hi, Katrina. How you doing? Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah, puncture repair kits, CO2 bottles. I mean, to be honest with you, I used to just, I used to have panniers on my bike, so I literally had like a little 12-volt inflator, and I could connect it in on the Anderson, and that was it. And up the tire went. I have had it before now where you're doing emergency repairs on it. The worst one I had was on a Kawasaki VN900, and I had the stator, the alternator stator blew. So the first thing I knew about being a problem is the bike died. Basically, it flattened the battery. But again, I carry one of those in my panniers, so I'm able to put that little power pack on, start the bike, and run the bike. And that got me, I think it was about 45 miles for the rest of the journey, got me home. Simple as that. Once I knew what the problem was, it was a case of connect that, ride. I know I'm probably going to fry the battery pack eventually, but just ride, don't use the indicators, use hand signals, don't turn the lights on, save all the power I can, and just nurse her home. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Lavu, my friend, how you doing? Lavu, it was fantastic meeting you this week. I've tried the Penderin. Oh, got a new favourite there. You are a gentleman and a scholar. And I was showing everybody just now the peak blocks. So we're looking forward to getting the stove out and trying them in the stove. It should be an adventure. It's and we're just talking about prepping vehicles, motorcycles, and that, those problems that occur. Again, being a sergeant at arms, spare fuses, bits of twine, sellotape, insulation tape, duct tape, you name it, it was in there. Small tool roll of the basic tools. I mean, obviously you're not going to strip an engine at the side of the road, but the bits and pieces you can bodge, fix, get home. Bulbs is another one. I don't. Light bulbs are easy to change. Even in cars today, most bulbs can be changed quite simply. They're not that expensive. Why do we not all have a pack of bulbs somewhere in our car? In my spare wheel well, in my Range Rover, I've got a complete pack of fuses and a complete set of bulbs, plus the 10mm spanner that is required to take the rear lights off so that I can change the bulb if need be. It's simple prepping things. Yeah, jumper came between two bikes. I tell you what, it would not surprise me, especially with some of the old school clubs. Some of the things they'd get up to get home, absolutely amazing. Another simple thing I used to keep in the pannier on the bike was a white push bike headlight and a red tail light for a push bike. Just the little rubber strap clip on ones, so that if I lost a tail light, I could fix it. You could see me. I was visible in the night. Same thing with the front. It might mean I'm only trundling along at 20 mile an hour because I haven't got a lot of beam. But from a legality point of view, I'm getting home as safe as I can. Okay, I'm making myself as visible as possible. And again, just good prepping. It was simple things to carry. Yeah, Gary, it's all preparedness. It's a mindset thing. I'm always saying this to people. So preparedness and survival is a mindset thing. Okay. It's in life, you've got two choices. You can walk along with blinkers on, hoping it's never going to happen, or you can think about what's going to affect you on a day by day basis. And it can be anything. Whatever I'm doing, there's always an element of preparedness in it. If I'm going to drive to Wales in the pickup, the first thing I do is I look at the weather conditions. What am I liable to face? Is it liable to snow? I then adjust my time of travelling to suit me and the conditions, and I make sure I've got kit in the vehicle just in case. Now, the downside is my vehicle's parked 100 metres from my house, so it's a pain in the arse. I've got to pack a bag, take it out. In actual fact, my work go bag is there. Okay, so that's already packed. That's got a meal in it. That's got meds in it. That's got warm kit in it, dry kit in it, or wet weather kit in it. That's all packed in that, ready to go, and it lives down there. If I get a call tonight saying, Mick, can you pick up a generator from High Wycombe and take it down to Dartmoor tonight? I got that bag to pick up, probably my little green rucksack, which I'll just throw in any immediates that I want, and I can go. And I know that even if I get stuck in the vehicle for 8 hours, I've got a brew kit in there. I've got all the facilities in the vehicle to make probably 2 or 3 meals, keep myself in hot drinks, deal with any incidents. So again, it's that preparedness thing, and it's that in all life. It's not just in the vehicle, whether I'm going on the train, whether I'm going shopping. I've got little preparedness kits that I will stick in a pocket. I carry in my clothing first aid. Okay, so again, we've talked about this in the past. You don't necessarily need to be walking around. I mean, that's my standard first aid kit that goes most places with me. It lives there. If I'm going to work, it goes in my green bag. I've also got one very similar in the car, but it's a lot more sort of, how would you put it? There's a lot more bandages and trauma gear in there, because in the past when I've come across road incidents, I tend to find you've got multiple people bleeding, so I want to control the bleeding. If I get it down for you. My belt. Okay, so I'm going shopping with Kaz. I carry in my jacket, my pocket, a simple trauma dressing. Okay, so this is a simple flat trauma dressing. It is 3 inches by 5 inches and about 1/4 of an inch thick, and that just goes into a top pocket, back pocket, wherever I need it. My belt, the standard belt that I wear majority of the time, is a Lansky, or in fact it's a Lesky Air. Okay, this is a Cobra Clip type belt with a quick release. You can already see what it's doing, but the other thing with this one, it's elasticated, and it's a strong elasticated belt, so I can tourniquet down with that very, very easy on myself or somebody else. All right, it's not the best tourniquet in the world, but it's a tourniquet. It will work, it will do the job. And when I say it's heavily elasticated, I mean it's heavily elasticated. All right, so again, even going shopping, I have a tourniquet, I have a first aid kit on me that will deal with trauma and bleeding. If I have to, I will pack people with t-shirts, okay, to stop the bleeding. It's whatever is needed. And again, how does that come about? The knowledge. Okay, that knowledge, that foundation of working out what you can do, and that's important, is knowing what you can do. Know what you're capable of, okay? Learn the skills to build that knowledge, and then equip yourself and with the mindset to deal with those things that could occur. Okay. Now, I don't want to be a worrywart. I'm not saying, oh, you know, you're going to get stabbed if you go up to town. That's not the case. But it can be a situation that is quite innocent. It can be somebody is just genuinely been injured or harmed by something. I've never wanted to pass a casualty by. Okay. I've seen enough people hurt, and I know even the biggest arsehole in the world, I will help when he's hurt, because that's my nature. Okay. I don't want to leave somebody to suffer. Wrinkles are us. We're talking shirts, are we? Yeah, keeping fuel in the vehicle, keeping my pickup, it's my work vehicle now. The Range Rover normally runs about half a tank. It's a huge tank in it. But the pickup, every time I finish work with that now, every time I finish a journey with it, I come back, I fuel it. Okay, I fuel it to the brim, and it stays topped up, ready to go. It is also my bug out vehicle. It is also the vehicle that if me and Kaz had to evacuate from here, that's the one that's going to be most efficient for me sticking a scooter in and all the gear I need to go with. It's got its 4-wheel drive capability if I need it. It's economical to drive. It's capable. Yeah, that would be the one I'll be going with. The Range Rover will be disabled though, because I'm buggered if anybody else is using it. No, Gary, I don't mind anybody asking. One of the things about me starting my channel was I've spent years doing this, okay? And I've done it for a living as well as for a hobby. So sharing knowledge is one of the best things you can do for the world, okay? Sharing knowledge, answering people's questions, advising. And again, don't take it that I am the gospel. I'm not the gospel. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly figuring out that somebody says to me, well, actually, mate, do you know what? Try doing it this way. It's a better way. So you never stop learning. But again, you don't learn if you don't ask questions, do you? So I've done it all through my life. If I see something, I think, how the hell does that work? That's interesting. I'll go and ask. And you find most people are quite happy to share. Most people are quite happy to share. Lee, I wouldn't. I tell you what, if I saw him injured, I would aid him with a smiley and friendly face and all the rest of it. But then I'd remind him for the rest of his life he owes me. Bean and ham soup. Oh, lovely, lovely. Old school on the stovetop. Nice, nice. Oh, I had roast chicken today. That was for my tea. Well, let me just take that out. Anyhow, so other than that, how is everybody doing? Let's have a look. Yes, so I went to Wales. I met Lavoo. I will say to you guys, what a stunningly wonderful man. Okay, I met his little horses. Absolutely fantastic. Made my day. I'm blown away with the support he's given the channel, and I'm humbled by the man simply. And he lives what he says he lives. I mean, I've seen where he lives. I've seen his accommodation. I've seen his Lavoo. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. He definitely walks the talk, or talks the walk, walks the talk, whichever way around it is. Yeah, he's and a genuine decent guy. I think the world of him. It was a stunner to meet. It's always a pleasure. It's always quite humbling to meet any of you guys. Yeah, what more can I say than that? That it shows me what I'm trying to do with the channel is right. Any future videos for the coming week? Yes, I'm going to try and get a couple of videos out for you guys this week, because obviously over Christmas I'm away. I'm on the Isle of Wight, so there will be a couple of shorts I expect, just to wish you Merry Christmas and so on. But do excuse me, I've got a bit of acid reflux tonight. But I want to get a couple of videos into the system this week. There's a video that is up today for the members. That is three things that will save your life. So that's three things that I found that pretty much now live in that box. And when I'm going out on the hills especially, that is going with me. Without a doubt, 100% there to go with me. They're all legal items. They're all items you are allowed to have, but would form a fantastic foundation for your prepper survival kit. Okay. Hi Sussex, how you doing, mate? Hope you're good. Croc, El Croc, hello, brother. Hope you're good. I'm just going to go back through the comments because I haven't got my assistant here with me tonight, so I'm having to manage. Fish burgers, not sure I've had those. salmon patties from time to time. Nice, like a bit of salmon. Kiwi Outdoors, keep looking for the food size 3 pricey. They are, mate. They are. They. You're quite a bit bigger than me, so you probably want a size 3 as well. Hi, Owen. How you doing, mate? Hope you're great. Starmer again. Oh no, we don't do politics. Stop it. Learn by mixed mistakes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Learn by my mistakes. I leave my mistakes in my videos for a reason. One, it reminds me. It also shows other people that it's it doesn't always go perfect first time. This is one of the things that does anger me a little bit about some people's videos. You see them in a situation and you can do jump shots. Okay, so you can film something, doesn't go right, cut, edit, redo it, and all of a sudden the fire's a blazing glory and all the rest of it. And he's a star because he just made a fire using a feather and a snail, and it's, look at it raw. I would rather make a video that shows the fire fail, shows me take a deep breath, shows me redo it, restart it, and get it going, because that's the reality of life. It doesn't always work first time. You've got to persevere. I think some people need to realise that actually people want to see the honesty, they want to see the struggle, they want to see how you deal with it when it goes wrong. And it does go wrong. That's what prepping is about. Prepping a survival is not about dealing with the good days. It's how you're going to handle the bad day. Okay, how you're going to deal with it when it all goes wrong. Oh, you don't know the feather and snail firelighting trick? Oh, it takes hours, that. So what you got to do, you take your snail. You want a large, sort of like the English type snail, the escargot type snail, and a feather. Perfectly, ideally, you want a feather from a phoenix, okay, because they're already superheated. You hold the snail upside down and you tickle his belly. Okay, now he starts laughing, and what that causes a snail to do is to start moving inside his shell as he's laughing, and that creates friction. As the slime runs out, the friction gets hotter and hotter and hotter till his shell starts glowing like an ember, and that is how you make fire with a snail. And if you believe that, you believe almost anything. A gallon of hand sanitizer, cool, it will burn well. Yeah, it's quite legal to have flares in the UK as long as you have them for emergency use. Okay, so if you were, say, stopped by the police driving home, they open your car, search your car, and in your boot you've got a box of flares. First thing they're going to say is, "Oh, it's a box of flares," and then you turn around and say, "It's an emergency signalling device. I go out into remote locations, onto mountains, moorlands, heathlands, and so on, and it is an emergency signalling device." At that point, they're screwed. They can't do anything about it. It's the old thing of most of the time they don't even know what they're looking at. Okay, and so they go into panic mode. Sometimes you just got to correct them. As I've always said to people, if the officer is being that much of a pain in the bum, let him seize it, demand a receipt, which is your right. Go to the police station, ask to speak to the chief constable, and get your goods back. You will usually get it, and I have had it, with an apology. Okay, so again, it's know what the rules and regulations are, stick to them, but don't antagonise the situation, because people can be a pain in the arse, especially when you tell them they're wrong. Sometimes you just got to take a breath, stand back, then approach it to the following morning, speak to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, take it from somebody that has spent most of his life in and around firearms. Sometimes you just banging your head against the wall. Yeah, rook scarers. Okay, there's nothing wrong. There's no legality in crow scarers or rook scarers as long as you're using them for the purpose that they're meant for, which is bird scaring. Okay, if you're lighting them and throwing them at the neighbours' kids, then they can get a little bit fuzzy about it. Wasp nest removal. Yeah, it's quite efficient. I've seen that done. Yeah, and yeah, and Kiwi, how is the site going, mate? How is it all going? Box of road flares secured to go with black electrical dope at the ends. Yeah, I can hear the footsteps as the police officer runs back to his car. Yeah, any shop, any Chandler's shop, any sailing shop will be able to supply you with emergency flares. Okay. Now, the other thing I will say about emergency flares, and I'll tell you a little story here. It's a bit of a giggle. So, um, there's a place. There's a place called Thorney Island. It's a military establishment on a little island just outside Portsmouth. Okay, and we were down there doing some training, and we have parallel for obviously lighting up contacts and that. And as part of this exercise, there's a beach attack going to go on. So people are going to come into the beach. We're all defending the beach. And at the point where they attack the beach, we start putting flares up, parachute flares. Nobody had actually notified the Coast Guard. And so basically, we ended up with the Coast Guard out there. We ended up with RNLI out there, people looking for this sinking boat that was letting off flares. People were phoning in from all over the place saying that there's and it's quite funny because there was no sinking boat, but people were like, oh, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen where the boat is, because their imagination takes control. So again, if you're going to have flares, illumination, smoke, that sort of thing, you've got to bear that in mind. My video today, we've talked about orange smoke and using it for signalling. And as I pointed out, the only time you would use it for signalling is when you really need it, i.e., you're up on a mountain on the hills, you're in a situation, you're trying to signal to somebody that I am here or my casualty is here. That's when you use it. If you're charging around a local heathland and the rest of it, chucking smoke at your mate, you're probably going to get into a bit of trouble because it creates issues, doesn't it? And the same thing with flares and illumination. If you're using it for the purpose it's meant for, signaling for help or signaling that there's a problem, you're never going to get any issues. If you're being irresponsible with it, they're going to throw the book at you, quite simply. Yeah, I got mine on. I got my Phoenix Feather through Temu. I think they're about $4.99. Took about 6 weeks to come from China, but yeah. Yes, you can use airsoft smokes on private land, but again, the land that they're used on will have already notified all the authorities that it's an airsoft site, and people will be using smoke, illumination, and so on. There, and it's the same with the military. A lot of military training areas, if they're using standard things like smoke, ground illumination, it's not a problem. If they're firing parallel, then they have to put a NOTAM out, and that's a notice to all airmen. Um, Basically, all military areas in the UK have a minimum air danger height of 12,000 feet. All aircraft are supposed to stay above that over those areas. They don't always. Um, but again, it's there to protect. But you put the notice to all airmen out, and that means that notification is put out. Anybody that puts a flight plan over that area then knows at that time they're either going to be using tracer, they might be using some sort of power illumination, and so on. And so again, it's that notification goes out to warn people, and it means your bum's covered. It's as simple as that. And again, if let's put a scenario out there, your friend's got a bit of land, you've got some flares, and you've got some smoke, and you want to train with them. Now, it's quite simple. All you've got to do is phone your local constabulary, explain to them that you are looking to practice with some illumination and smoke for safety training for your next adventure. Okay, you're testing this kit, practicing with it so it's safe. They'll want to know what day, what time, what location. Once they've got that, they can notify the emergency services will actually have it on their board. That's what you're doing on that day, at that time, at that place. Okay, so if somebody suddenly phones them and says, oh, I'm seeing strange lights in the sky and there's green smoke drifting across the road, they know what it is. They will either get hold of you because they will ask you for a contact number. They'll either get hold of you and say, can you stop doing the smoke? You are obscuring the road. Or they'll say to the person, no, it's okay. We're well aware of what's going on. It's not an issue. It's not a drama, because these things aren't illegal to own. They're not illegal to possess, not illegal to use. It's just using them responsibly. Let's go back to the comments. Bill of you tried phoenixfeathers.com. I started a thing with this phoenix feather, and yeah, exactly. It's not about, you won't make money off of YouTube. Nobody does these days, but you can use it to promote yourself, promote what you're doing. I'm going to be doing it in the new year. Next year, I'm going to be running some little events, small social events for people to come along and have a woodland experience. It'll be somewhere you can come along, you can camp for the weekend. You can meet me, you can meet some of the other guys, we can have a fire, you can try out hammocks, try out systems. If you haven't got your own systems, you can have a word with me and I can lend you a system and you can come along. At the moment, I'm looking at probably for a Friday and Saturday night, I'm probably looking at about £25. Okay. And the idea being, I'm now working for myself. So, yeah, I do need to make a little bit of an income, but I was looking at what other people are charging. 280 quid for one group, 280 quid for a weekend, stick your own tent up in their woods. Bugger that. So I thought 25 quid a head. It makes me a little bit of extra cash. It also means I can pay the people that I use, because I don't own the woods. I can pay them something. It covers the overheads. It covers the meal on the Saturday night, because I like to provide a meal on the Saturday night. I normally get Jace to come in to do the catering, and it's a get together. So yeah, I'm going to be using my channel to promote that, and if I can get a little bit of an income out of it, then bonus. As long as it doesn't cost me money to run it, that's what I've got to try and do. Oh, cheers, Simon. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up if you can. I'd appreciate it. I'm quite happy. I've got 14 up there. And yeah, you guys have been here with me all evening. So the statistics say to me we've got 26 in at the moment, and it's been around that most of the evening. So I really do appreciate it. That's and the support everybody's given me and Kaz over the last 3 years. That's absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong. As somebody said to me the other day, you can build a channel very fast. You can make a huge channel very quickly. If you use shock, horror, lies, deceit, and that, you can make a channel very quickly because people like that sort of thing. But does it last? No. 3 years in, we're still here. We're still ticking along quite nicely. The channel, it doesn't make a fortune. It makes a few quid. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it makes me about £100 a year. That £100 a year I put straight back into buying kits. So I get paid out by YouTube twice a year if I'm lucky. And what do I do with that? I bought a mystery box. Why? Because it's something to create for you guys. It also gave me a giveaway. It gave me a little, it was only a little something, but it was something to give my mate Lavu, because he's shown a lot of support to me this year. And it was my way of saying thank you. It wasn't a lot, but it's something. If I was a millionaire, win the lottery tomorrow, I'm buying my plot of land and you will all be invited. And those of you that ain't in the UK, I'll pay for your flights. You'll come over. We'll go and sort my woods out, build the wild camping site there. Yeah, and it will be an open invite. But yeah, keep it straight and honest. It's all you can do. It's all you can do. People like honesty. Show when you cock up. Show when things are difficult. Don't be frightened to attempt things you've not done before, and show people the challenge of you learning, because that encourages them to learn. and have fun with it. That's the most. Why do I do this? Why has prepping and survival been a big part of my life? It's not a fear thing. It's a pleasure thing. I enjoy doing it. All this kit up here is a lifetime of gathering, collecting, trying, saving up, buying things. Every single item up there has pretty much got a story behind it. Um, they're not things that I've been able to sort of. I haven't got a budget to sit there and go, this week I'm going to spend £1,000 on an inflatable tent and then make a video in the woods. I can't afford to do that. What I can afford to do is maybe spend a tenner on an item, right? So there we go. Maybe I can afford to spend a little bit more than I intended and a lot less than I budgeted for at the bug out. But that's the way it goes. It's somewhere I've wanted to visit for a long time. I've followed Lee for a long time, and I went down there. And do you know what? What a brilliant bloke! His honesty, it just astounded me. The guy runs a shop. So you walk into most shops, and you expect a shop owner to go ka-ching for what you after. This guy's not. This guy's like, okay, what do you need? Well, no, then try this, try that. He helped me find things that I needed, that I wanted, at the budget that I could afford, and I actually ended up spending £200 less than I intended. Or, excuse me, this acid reflux is giving me hell tonight. I spent £200 less than I intended. Okay, and he knew what my budget was. He could have sat there and taken me for the whole budget, but he didn't. He wanted me to have a good time, get the right kit for what I needed, and had time. He had time, spent time chatting with me. He spent time nattering, having a laugh, having a joke. If I would say to any of you out there, if you're going to Wales, if you're going to Powys, you're going to Mid Wales, and you get the chance, drop in at the bug out, right? Even if it's for nothing more than to drop in and say hello. Right? The guy is second to none. And I've dealt with a lot of army surplus. I've dealt with a lot of suppliers, a lot of prepper shops and that over the years. I tell you what, I'm not going anywhere else now. He's my man. He's where I'm going to stick to. Exactly that, John. Exactly that. Videos where people overcome the odds. Yeah. Where it goes wrong, they pick themselves up and they deal with it. Absolutely brilliant. Have faith. Maybe Mick will win the lottery. I buy 2 tickets a week, so you never know. One day it might be me. Night, Ray. Sleep well, mate. Take it easy. Hope the horses are good. Have an excellent one. I've got your video lined up for me to watch later on. So anybody that's out there, Roman Ray did a visit to a tractor run. He's put the video up. Pop over to his channel, show him some love, give him a thumbs up, watch the video. Tractor run's great fun. Do like to see a lot of tractors running around. Although the government doesn't for some strange reason. But hey ho, support your local farmers. No farmers, no food. That's as political as I'm getting tonight. Nice. Their BPS knives are really good. Really like them. Really like them. Owen, yeah, I'd like if everybody that had a channel could share me, then or everybody shared me, yeah, I'd appreciate that. But I don't worry about it too much. It's people's got busy lives. If I can keep having this group of friends and maybe a few more on a Sunday night, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy. Yeah, poor Lavoo had quite a busy day that day. I think he thought the bloke had come back. Yeah, there are rude people out there. Yeah, you know what? It's one of the things that I've always loved. So, coming from a farming community, I've always seen the fetes, the fairs, the steam rallies, the farm events, and that, and seen how sociable farmers are. In the last few years, farmers have started. It's become a bit of a trend to do tractor runs, where all the local farms get together, dress their tractors up, and they'll drive through all the villages and towns. The government hates it. The police hate it because they've actually got to get off their asses and do a bit of work. But I think it's brilliant. I think it's a wonderful thing to see, and the fact that people turn out, they enjoy it. They get the pleasure of seeing these dressed up tractors and that going past. But it also shows support for the farmers. It reminds people that these guys are out there making food, basically. And let's face it, farming it's not a job. Anybody that thinks farming is a job, they pick it up on a Monday, they put it down on Friday, is yeah, very mistaken. Farmers work 7 days a week, quite often near enough 18 to 24 hours a day, especially at certain times of year like harvest, that, or lambing, or when you've got calves coming in. It's a non-stop thing. And the income they make from it is minimal. The government's very quick to, oh no, the farmers are all right. Rich farmers, they own all that land. Majority of farmers in the UK are tenant farmers, so they pay a rent for that land. The few that have got it have had it in families for generations. And yes, okay, so that farmer owns that land, but he doesn't own it. He's a custodian. He intends to pass it on to his children. Now, it might be worth a few million, but he doesn't have that few million. He makes his income out the farm. And most farmers I know, and I know a few farmers, subsist. They don't make enough of income. I know farmers that I know a dairy farmer, right? This guy produces milk that gets bought off him. He's got a fair sized herd. He sells his milk on a daily basis and that. He also does a shift at Tesco's every single day. If he didn't do the shift at Tesco's as a shop filler or a shop worker, he couldn't make an income. He couldn't keep his farm. But his farm's been in his family for 5 generations. He doesn't want to be the one that loses it. He wants to be able to pass it on to his children. He lives day to day with this hope that things will change, that farmers will start getting a fair whack, and he will be able to pass on something to his sons that will be a livelihood for them, support them, and keep that family in that place, running that tradition as they have done for generations for the future. And it's what he knows. Farmers aren't created. Okay, they're born. If you're born on a farm, you're raised on a farm, that farm is in your blood, it's in your soul, it's in your life. That's why you can do it 7 days a week. That's why you can go out and feed your cattle on Christmas Day and muck them out whilst everybody else is sitting watching a movie or having their Christmas dinner. That is why, no matter what the weather conditions, your first thought is my crop or my livestock. Okay, it's a way of life. It's not a profession. It is, yeah. So that's just my view on it, and I know I've got a lot of time for them. I know there's people out there don't see it the same way I do, but I grew up in that. I saw that myself. As a young man, I worked with dairy cattle as a kid, and I've done a bit of arable. So I've seen the work that goes into it and how hard it is, how tough it can be. Sam, how you doing? Right, can I ask everybody to pop over to Yorkshire Outdoors and Survival, have a look at any of his videos that you wish, show him some love, give him a thumbs up, send him a message. Chap's had a really tough couple of weeks. I mean, really the toughest couple of weeks you can possibly have. So please share his videos, show him some support. Let's see if we can pick him up, build his channel for him. Yeah, milking. Yeah, childhood of get up, go milk the cattle, come back, have some breakfast, get changed, go to school, come home, get changed, second milk. Yeah. We yeah. Thank you very much. Sticks has shared Yorkshire Outdoors Survivals channel. Sam, I'm not going to go into too much of what's happened to you. I did last week. I mentioned it to everybody, but brother, if I could give you a hug, I would. I mean, I know you're not a huggy person, but take it from me, you get a hug. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, Kitten, for sharing that. Um, it's going to be tough for you months for you, mate, but we're all behind you. You know that this channel and everybody here on a Sunday night is here, and we've all got our hearts and our hands for you. Okay, getting emotional now. Oh, 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 Sam, bless you, mate. Uh, well, no, we're all here with you, mate. No, we all love you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're only ever a message away. All of Sam, the friends you got here, simple as that. And I'm sure you're getting support from people on your channel as well. But Hampshire Outdoors and Survivals community is with your brother all the way. It is going to get busy, mate. Yeah, yeah. He's our. It's the toughest thing and one of the hardest things that could happen to everybody. And I know she was your rock, mate. She was your biggest supporter. Um, yeah, Kaz. When we found out she was in tears for you, I was pretty much close to it myself. Um, and as everybody's passing on their regards there, much appreciated, guys. Really love you all for that. And this is another thing with our community, isn't it? We look out for one another. We care for one another. We yeah. It's one of the things that if I can leave something behind me after I'm gone in this world, it will be that I've linked all you people up. You've all made a connection with one another, and you'll always know that you've got friends out there. Okay, that's my legacy, and I'm very very proud of it. I've never known such a decent bunch of guys, and yeah, it's like you know, um, yeah, sort of people I would like to have my back in any situation. All of you, you know, if the world goes to shit, who do I want man in my walls? It's you guys, yeah, because I know the sort of people you are. Oh, Sam, that's going to make life difficult for you. Well, you know we're here, mate. You know we're here. Um, and you know we've got your back. Simple as that. Simple as that. The power of attorney from both. Uh, that's going to be difficult, Sam. It is going to be tough. But yeah, big responsibility. It will all work out, as Kitten says. Things keep faith, mate. Keep faith. Things happen. Things do get better. Light does come up, as that Native American chap once said to me. Well, I don't know what you're worrying about, white fella. Sun will come up tomorrow. Okay, and that is the truth of it. Just take every day as it comes. Okay, and you'll get through this, mate. You really will. Yeah, time is a great healer. Yeah, yeah. Right, so what are we on to now? What shall I do? Let's try and pick up. Let's try and make Sam smile, even just a little bit. I'm sort of hit a wall now. Bump, bump. Brakes on. Oh, so what am I doing this week? I've got work on the truck this week, so or over the Christmas period. Once I get back from my mum's, I'm going to fit the pull out in the back. I've got roof rack to fit on it. Then I can go pick my canoe up. Woo! Pick my canoe up. I've got the awning already. That's waiting to go on once I've got the roof rack on there. I've been in contact with a company, an American company called Warrior Winches. So I've organised a winch for the vehicle, but a very, very different system to what a lot of other people use. It's not a mounted winch. Um, no, Sam, you haven't put a downer on it, mate. You have not put a downer on it at all, right? Don't worry about it. It's one of the things about having a brotherhood is caring. I learned this in the bike club. You care. I'm an empathic person. I feel for other people. I feel for other animals. I feel for anything that is suffering. Okay. One of the drives for me is to want to stop other things from suffering. Okay. Doesn't make me weak, it makes me tougher because I have to deal with that as well. This is life. This is what happens in life. If we can't spend a few minutes showing you some love and some care and helping you through this terrible time, yeah, then what kind of human beings will we be? And it's what prepping and survival is about. In the in an SHTF situation, right, you need people. We all need people. Okay. So you build a community. And when you build that community, you become stronger for it. Okay. Look at me. I mean, who wanted to watch a channel for pretty much best part of the year that was whinging on about him losing a kidney and he had cancer and he didn't know what was coming around the corner? But you all stuck with me. And I know there were people out there found that really difficult to deal with because they were going through similar things themselves, but they still stuck by me. So that's what it's about. It's about caring. You've got to care. You have to care. Yes, yes, Sam, do it, do it, Sam. Yeah, do a Christmas in a memory. Don't be worried about showing a few emotions, but do it. Do it. She would want you to. She was your biggest supporter. She was the first person to comment on any of your videos, right? She would be sitting there now with you going, yes, Sam, go and do it. Go move forward, Sam. All right? Do it for me. All right? So, yeah, I would. I would. Yeah. Yeah. And we will all watch it. Uh, Although I might not be watching it at Christmas because I'm stuck on the Isle of Wight with my mum, and my mum isn't necessarily very keen on social media of any sort, but she's of a generation. So, and if you find you can't do it, don't panic. Okay, it will come sooner or later. So John is suffering with a brown sauce addiction. So anybody that is feeling that they want to help out with this, what we're going to be doing, we're going to have a drive in January where we're going to collect up as much brown sauce as possible, have it shipped to the US to keep John going through next year with his brown sauce. it's, it's yeah, brown sauce. It is a very addictive thing to have. Yeah. The last thing we need you going through is brown sauce withdrawal, because withdrawal from brown, mate, that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing. Excellent, excellent. So I and Jason can get it just the other side of the border, so we might be able to set up some sort of cross-border smuggling system for brown sauce. There will be people, brown sauce mules. They'll be getting picked up at customs. Yeah, are you carrying any brown? Come here. We know you got brown in your boot. We know there's brown in the car somewhere. Oh yeah, of course the tariffs. Oh, it's funny that, isn't it? Every time you create a tariff or you create a tax, you create smuggling, and it's some of the daftest things I've seen smuggled around the world from one country to the other. Yeah, brown sauce mac and cheese. Oh, nice, nice brown sauce on a cheese toasty. Oh, delicious. Or better still, grilled bacon, cheese, or brown sauce. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Benny, how you doing, brother? Hope you're good. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about being late, mate. we we were just talking about brown sauce, mate, and the best way of having brown sauce, because John's got an addiction, or Roller's got an addiction to brown sauce. We've been sending HP out to the States, and he's yeah, he's a bit twitchy about if he runs out going through the withdrawal. So we're trying to find a way of getting out of there. Oh, Gary, we're talking about HP. That we didn't think we would start him on the soft stuff like the daddies and that. We thought we'd just go with the HB straight in with the hard stuff. Yeah, yeah, brown sauce. It's a bit like brown sauce in a way. It's a bit like the old Tabasco, isn't it? I mean, Tabasco for anybody in any military in the world, Tabasco is a must. Okay, alongside your mess tin, alongside your digger, is your. I'll explain that as well. I don't know if I know all you ex-military guys will get it, but I also got a lot of civilian guys here that are not going to know what a set of diggers is. Okay, so quite self-explanatory. It's actually a digger, okay, because it works like a digger. Okay, so you'd always have your diggers. I used to keep my digger in my pocket with a little bottle of Tabasco sauce because ration packs. You ain't always going to get one you like, and a good splash of Tabasco will improve almost anything. So alongside your Digo, you'd have your bottle of Tabasco. Okay. When they started issuing them in the ration packs and the little bottles like that, it was great. However, you needed to steal 4 or 5 bottles off your mates to actually make one decent meal. Uh, so, so I used to carry about that sort of size bottle of Tabasco with me. A couple of splashes, yeah, makes anything good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were good times. Oh no, we've already started him on the HP. That was the one he got. Took him straight into the dark side, right in at the deep end. Yeah. Have to do it. You have to do it. Yeah. And what we're hoping. See, John will get. He's got the addiction. He's going to share it with friends. They get addiction. Then they start speaking to local suppliers and stores. And with any luck, somebody in the States goes, actually, we need to start bringing this stuff in. And then before you know it, brown sauce throughout America. Okay. Um, yeah, everywhere you go in America. I mean, let's face it, a brown sauce revolution. Ketchup factories going bankrupt overnight. Brown sauce forever. Yeah. I've got a survival advent calendar, so obviously each day I get a piece of survival kit. Oh, brilliant! Brilliant! Oh, I love the idea of that. That sounds absolutely stunning. The survival advent calendar. Chipotle. Oh. It's funny, isn't it? Seasonings. What are your favourite seasonings? What's your if you like, I've got a couple with loads of seasonings, but if you had to take one thing, this is the thing. You're now running to the hills. You're going to be out there bushcraft surviving. What's the one season you're taking with you? You can take anything you like. You've got to take one season. That season's got to do you for everything. What's the thing you're grabbing in that cupboard as you bail out? Giant bottle of Tabasco. I'll go with that. Yeah. Real mustard, yeah. Honey, yeah, you can go with honey. Yeah. Salt, yeah. Adam, yeah. I mean, salt is, let's face it, salt is the logical choice. That's the essential. If we're being sensible about it, that's the one. But anything, yeah. What would be the one you would like to take? Sriracha, yeah. Maggie Polish seasoning, yeah. Henderson's, yeah, go with that. Commons mustard, no, I like a bit Commons. Cheese toasty with an absolutely thick layer of Commons on the top. So when you bite into it, it clears your sinuses. It should make your eyes water. That's when you know you have your mustard right. Sorry, Gary, I'm missing that a little bit. Before I forget, will you soap out afterwards for doing? Hey, you've been doing a great job for hand. It's not that, because, hey, mate, it'll be a lot easier with Cass. I love having Cass with me here. When she's sat there next to me, it's my confidence thing. She's my lovely. I can face anything in this world as long as I've got my Cass. Salt tablet daily, yeah. uh, oh, John's addicted to it. John's taken with it. That's another nice one. Mix your Commons mustard with a bit of mayonnaise. Again, it's got to be at that level that clears the sinuses. All right, paying me a compliment. Cheers, brother. I'll take that. I'll take that. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it's. I mean, the lives originally started with just me here, and Kaz would watch it downstairs, and she would help me by shouting things up to me. And then she came and sat off screen for a couple, and then she would just pop in and out, and then eventually I moved over and she sat next to me, and it's built a confidence. It's not being on YouTube, suddenly realizing that there could be thousands of people looking at you over the next year. It's not a very comfortable thing for some people. Um, I can probably, yeah, I occasionally actually flap about it. I occasionally make a video and think to myself, "Oh, people are going to see this." But again, if you're going to do YouTube, you just got to open yourself up. And I just decided that's it. My YouTube originally started for my granddaughter. It was to leave something for my granddaughter, for hopefully her children and her children's children, to be able to look back and go, "Oh, that was great grumps." Yeah, that's what he was like. That's what he was into. He wasn't a bad bloke. He was quite a decent boy. Because I have been, and I'm the first one to admit it, in my life, I have been an arse. I haven't always been a nice guy. I haven't always been as good as I could be. And life teaches you through mistakes. And there's a saying that a leopard can't change its spots. Well, I think that's a load of old crock, because I'm here to prove that. Um, and I just try and be honest, decent, share with people. I don't get opinionated. I don't get arsy about stuff. I try not to get. Well, no, I do, but I hold it in, and then I think to myself, yeah, but you're not that person. You aren't living their life. You've not seen or been through what they have. So just because they have a different opinion or a different idea to something doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong. It's just that their life is based on what they've experienced, and I think that's an important thing to remember. How are you shocked? Oh yeah, I've been a bit of a, I might have been a bit of a so and so in my. I mean, look at this face. Uh, yeah, it does. It does take time. You're right, Max. It takes time to change how you think. Life teaches you lessons, and you learn from them. No, life teaches you, gives you lessons. The thing is to learn from them, and we've all, every one of us here, has got people we know that are nice enough people in their own way, but they don't learn the life lessons, and then they're usually the ones to moan that things aren't right for them and it's not fair and it's hard and it's all right for you, you don't understand, and all that sort of thing. And I often think to myself, yes, because you're not learning your life lessons. You're not learning that, realizing that every single one of us has got to go through misery. Every single one of us has to go through pain. That's life. That's what it's about. Every single one of us at some time on that side has got a tattoo that wasn't finished. Yeah, I just realised that there it's it. It's a tattoo that wasn't finished. That was one of my first tattoos. That was. I wasn't brave enough for them to go all the way around. Need to get that finished sometime. But that's life lessons, isn't it? That's how we learn from that. We move forward. Yeah. Yeah, three dog. You're exactly right there, mate. Wisdom comes with age. When you're young, you look at older people and you go, "You don't really know, you silly old sod." And then one day, you are that silly old sod, and you look back and you go, "Yeah, I did know." And that's another thing. That's another lesson, isn't it? Is not to let yourself get bugged by the young when they tell you you don't know, because you too were once that young person, full of spirit and wind and no experience, looking at the world going, "You don't understand," and not realizing they were all too young one day. You know, so uh, salty nuts. What are we on about salty nuts there? Oh, it's. I learnt years ago, Jason. You just got to be honest. If you can only be who you are, if you are who you are, people accept it. If you're if you aren't who you say you are, it will always come out. The truth will always come out, and yeah, and it will come back to kick you in the arse. Salty nuts. Good thing is out right. So there's always a stash of nuts, kid. Oh, we're getting on to nuts again, are we? Coveted roads, busting state lines and smuggling haggis. Hey, mate. Yeah, life lessons. We just gotta and roll with the punches. I mean, look at this face. This has rolled with a few punches in its time. You know, it's got lumps missing out of it all over the place. It's got half the jaw, half the face is missing. All the muscle structure under there, everything there had to be removed. I'll tell you the story of that one day. I've got scars running right round my neck. Um, yeah, it's like I said, lumps, bumps, cuts, nicks, scars, wound. I've rolled with more than my fair share of punches, but you come back from it. You always come back from it, and it's not how hard life locks you down. It's how you get up. That's the truth of it. It's how you get up. It's how you pick yourself up. It's how you then deal with it. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you're not somebody that feels, but it's how you deal with it. Yeah, sewing. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't need to bring salt as a seasoning if you can find a squirrel, because they live off salt and nuts. Yeah, hindsight, Mickey. Yeah, it's yeah. I wish I knew when I was 20 what I know now. It would have saved me a lot of pain and discomfort. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tell you, yeah. I look back at it though, and I think that most of the hits I took, I actually deserved. Adam says he definitely wouldn't go back. Yeah. Suet is not for human consumption. I love a bit of suet. Nothing like a suet pudding. Oh, suet and bacon pudding. Oh, yeah. Mm. My father died um, about 5 years ago, and He died. He had dementia, but it wasn't the dementia that finished him off, and he was in early stages. But it was um, pneumonia that finished him off. And I didn't have a lot of contact with my father for many years. Two very, very different people, two different lifestyles. I respected him massively. Big part of my life. And I thought the world of him. But I had to step back. There was a bit of a family issue, and I won't go into that, but a bit of a family issue. And me being around made things difficult for him, made things difficult for other people. So I usually stood back. But not long before he passed, I managed to get to have a sit down with him and a chat with him. And I apologised to him. I said, I'm so sorry that when I was younger, especially, I wasn't sensible enough to realise that my opinions and attitudes would cause all the animosity it did, and I'll always regret it. And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, I'll tell you this, son, only fools have regrets. There is nothing you can do about the past. That's happened. It's gone. What you can do is learn from it and change tomorrow. And that stuck with me. And that was one of the last things my father said to me. And it was, it's sat with me ever since. Yeah, we can look back at what we've done in the past and say, I'm sorry for doing that. But it isn't going to do anything, is it? It's happened. It's occurred. It's back there. You can't go back in time. What you can change is the future. So learn, if you have regrets, learn from them. Change tomorrow. That's all you can do. So that was a life lesson there. That was one of the points in my life where I suddenly realised that things aren't as easy as you think they are. They're not as quite simple, and you've got to forgive yourself. You've got to forgive yourself and move on. And so that's enough. That's enough morbidity. You don't need to know that. I don't even know why I went down that road, but it was there. Yeah, can't change your feelings, just your actions. Yes, exactly that. Same as you can't change into reverse when you're moving forwards. It's not a good thing to do. And if you do achieve it, it's a big problem. So where are we? Moving forward. So, Sam, let's see you out there next year. Let's see you out there doing your camps. Let's see you out there having your adventures. Let's see you out there doing your things you want to do. And we'll all support you on it, mate. We'll all pick you up. Yeah, I hope me sharing that is a comfort to other people. And again, it's life, isn't it? It's what you learn. It's what you learn. Live today like it's your last, because you never promise tomorrow. Too right. Too night. Yeah. Never squeeze your squirrel, because a squirrel must be grated. Simple as that. Others. I love coming up with nonsense sayings like that. And I learned my very first stupid saying. Some of you will remember it, from Laurel and Hardy. And I think I was about 12 years old. Saturday morning pictures. There was a Laurel and Hardy movie on. I can't remember which one it was. And Stan Laurel looked up, and he quoted one of the greatest sayings I'd ever heard. And that is, you can lead a horse to water, but a pencil must be led. And I remember being 12 years old, getting it straight away, laughing my arse off when all the other 12-year-olds were like, don't get it. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. And ever since then, I've had a pure love of nonsense sayings, nonsense poetry. I then got into Spike Milligan and just adored some of his nonsense poetry. It's one of the best things you can get into. Absolutely love it. Brilliant, Sam. Brilliant. Never guarantee a bow drill fire, no. Yeah, Tommy, sleep out. Yeah, you do it, Sam. Yeah. So, who's got any nonsense poems or nonsense sayings that they remember that they've always enjoyed. What bloody hell's that time? A scurry of squirrels. Yeah, like that. Jackson, I like that one. You never get down from an elephant, but you get up from a duck. Ah, I like that. I've got to make a note of that. That one's got to go on my list. Never get down from a You'll always get up from a duck. Love it. Love it. I've always had an appreciation for those sort of things. Yeah, I reckon we could. I reckon we could probably get a lot of us together for that, for the Tommy Sleep Out. Oh, mate, the truck is working superb. Okay, so we've put, just to give you an idea, the Wales trip, I, I was gutted. I thought I'd filmed some of the drive through of Brecon Beacons. I actually stopped at the Story Arms opposite the fan there and did a video from there. And what I'd done, I'd got out of sync on the video. So when I was pushing record, I was recording all the things I didn't want to record. When I thought I was recording, I was actually stopped. How gutted is that? There, see, put your reading glasses on before you look at your camera, Mick. Would make life a lot simpler, or even better still, just look for the little red flashing light. But there we go, concentrating on the road as I drive. That happens. The truck itself. So I did Wales and back, 360 miles total, and I did it as an eco run. So I filled the vehicle to the brim when I started. 360 miles at an average speed of 60 mile an hour, and lo and behold, got back and topped the vehicle back up, and it was showing half a tank, 65 quid. So 600 or 360 miles, £65, which I was quite happy with. I was quite happy with that. I thought that's perfect. I now know I can get to Wales and back driving normally, as I normally would drive, probably nearer 70, £80 in fuel. But again, if I had to do it as an eco run, then I could do it. So, and the vehicle itself, again, it's quite new to me. It's not missed a beat. It's comfortable. The heating works nicely in it. I've got all my gear loaded in it, so it's made me my little world within there. It's quite comfortable. In actual fact, it's got a mission this week. I am going out. Kaz has always wanted an upright clock. Always. She's always fancied an upright clock. And she's found herself one from, I think it's late 1800s, working. It's a grandmother clock. It's a beautiful piece. And so this week I'm going to go out and pick it up for her. Even chimes. So I'm going to go out and she's coming with me, so is Willow. We're going to load up the pickup, go out, pick that up and get it back. The only thing I'm terrified about is damaging the clock coming back. So I'm going to set it up in the back so that the clock's padded and all the rest of it, and I don't bounce it around. It's horrible. I'm going to have nightmares about it, that I get back, open up the back like that, and there's all this splintered wood and cogs and springs all over the place. But yeah. So the pickup is working out for me. So I am back in Wales on Friday. Okay. So it looks like, I think I'm back in Wales on Friday. Now I've met up with Lavu. So I'll put a thing out to Stealth saying, I'm going to be down your way. Maybe meet up for a cuppa if you're available. If you're not, I completely understand. Work, life, and all the rest of it comes in the way. But if there's a chance to meet on the way in or on the way out, it'd be nice to shake your hand, even if it's just a 5-minute quick stop. Well, it probably will be actually, because I've got a long drive. But it'd be nice to just be able to shake your hand, give you a hug, say hi to you face to face. Yeah, it is good efficiency. I am quite happy with it. if I go down on Friday, I'm probably going to try and record the trip through the. I'll probably try and go that way again and see if I can actually get it right. Yeah, it means to be quiet. Yeah. Yeah, Max. Yeah, we'll be looking at coming up to Norfolk in the spring then. Yeah, definitely. Right, Stealth. What I'll do then, you're going to be at your camp on Friday. So, what I'll do, I think we've got a contact. If we haven't, do me a favour. Pop me a message on the old Hampshire Outdoors at mail.com. Give me a what 3 words or something. And if you can, your mobile, and I'll liaise with you, and we'll look at meeting up. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Come up to your camp and have a cup of tea with you. Yeah, definitely. Right, that's a plan. That's a plan. Yes. I get to meet. I get to visit the camp. Hey, there we go. That's a location for me. Yeah. Right. There. That's a plan. That's a plan. Right. That's doing right. Stealth Friday. I like doing things like this. Love an adventure. Yes. Camp. Because what I'll look at doing in that case, come up and have a cup of tea with you guys. Because one of the things that hit me quite badly coming back last time was I ended up catching the rush hour traffic this side up near Reading. So what I'll do is I'll look at popping in and seeing you, Stealth, joining you, have a cup of tea with you, and then trundling back late afternoon, early evening, and then I'll miss the traffic. Makes an easier drive of it. Yes, that's the way to go. Yes. Anyhow, we're looking at 2 hours, 1 minute, and 50 odd seconds. So I'm going to love and leave you because my darling wife is downstairs on the sofa, and yeah, she could probably do with a cup of tea, cup of coffee, something. And I will pass on all your regards. Let her know how loved she is and how missed she is. And I look forward to speaking to you all again next Sunday. Um, as I said to you, there's a video up. I'm very proud of this video. Actually, I made a video today. I tried doing it a little bit different to what I normally do. I tried to do it more old school Mickey rather than new school Mickey, which took a bit of effort. Oh, excuse me, this acid reflux is really killing me tonight. Maybe I should stop drinking that cider. It's old school Mickey, not new school Mickey. And it was a conscious effort in the making of this video. It's on members at the moment. I'm going to stick it up live tomorrow from about 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So give my members a chance to see it first. Let me know what you think. If you think it's a better format than the older videos, then I'll start swinging that way again. But hopefully you'll like it. It's 3 items that can save your life. Okay. And yeah, Sam, stay strong. As Kiwi's just said, stay strong, brother. Know you're loved. Know you're cared for. Know that a lot of us have got you in our heart, our thoughts, and our prayers at the moment. For the rest of you, if you're struggling in this world, the same thing applies. Okay, it is a difficult place to be, this world of ours. But know that there are people around you that care. Okay, might not always be able to do anything, but do care. All right, that's the important thing. Cheers, Stealth. No problem. Right, have an awesome week. If you can get outside and have a little adventure, get outside and have a little adventure. If you can go get yourself some fresh air, go for a walk, or even just look out the window and think to yourself, what a beautiful sunrise, sunset, gorgeous day. Do it. Give yourself some time. Love yourself. Forgive yourself. And yeah, just Have a great one. Right, this is Mickey, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. My most important message that I share with you at the end of every video is love those you do and forgive those you don't. May peace, light be upon you all in this glorious world of ours. Oh, hang on, before I go, here he is. Here he is. Yeah, it's a Willemeister. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Willemeister's here. He's been downstairs looking after his mummy the whole time, but he's now decided to come up and just give you a quick stare, because that's the kind of dog he is. Aren't you, mate? Yeah, yes, you're a lunatic. Right, in this glorious world of ours. Till next time, this is Mickey, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Mickey out.